Welcome back. Eskom marks the milestone of 200 days of load shedding suspension today. The parastatal attributes this achievement to the effective implementation of the Generation Operational Recovery Plan. Eskom says the consistent power supply is expected to result in a 2% growth in GDP for South Africa, having set the target of reaching a 70% energy availability factor by March 2025. Eskom says it remains focused on achieving financial and operational sustainability by implementing ongoing structural improvements to enhance the reliability of its generation fleet. For more on this and to reflect on the 200 days without any load shedding, we're now joined by energy expert Chris Yelland, and he joins us now via our video link. Chris, thank you so much for your time this evening here in SABC News. I mean, lots to celebrate today with many South Africans, of course, expressing so much joy when it comes to having, no load shedding for the past 200 days.
Yes, of course. Being back to normal is actually a pleasure. It really makes us thankful for what we have and remind us that we don't always have this power. We have not had it, in the past. And now that we have it, we really are very, very grateful. But we should take this as back to normal.
Yeah. And Chris, talking about, what has been done right. I mean, lots being attributed to the fact that the implementation of the Generation Operational Recovery Plan has been on track. What do you attribute this exactly to, particularly when you look at the plan itself?
Well, there are many things to attribute it to. And I would start off with President Ramaphosa. He identified that we had a crisis. He did something about it. Look, it took a bit of time, but he came up with a plan, a credible plan after consulting widely. I also give him credit for appointing the new Minister of Energy and Electricity. When that happened, I, for one, was a little critical, saying, what is a new person, a new layer of administration going to achieve? But I was wrong. The minister has shown that he can pull this off, and he really did not do it alone. He put together the so-called National Energy Crisis Committee, NECOM, comprising a number of players, stakeholders, government stakeholders, who brought in a whole team of people, including from the private sector, a number of work streams. The job was divided up. And people gave it their full attention. So for that, I give the President credit, I give the Minister of Electricity and Energy credit. But of course, all the people of NECOM played an important role, including business and the private sector. And then not to forget Eskom itself. They had the Generation Recovery Plan. They put in a lot of effort. They were given more money by National Treasury to do additional maintenance, and that was very helpful. And enabled Eskom to really plan this properly, put in the necessary spares, people, contractors. And so, a whole lot of people came together. One cannot just say that this is a one-man achievement or one-person achievement, shall I say. And yes, we were helped also by the weak economy, the fact that demand hasn't been very high, the fact that Eskom's price increases made alternative energy a viable proposition. All of these things came together and resulted in where we are today.
And of course, when we talk about the availability of electricity, we are always told about diesel and how much it's costing the country. Maybe if you can just paint a picture for us, how much has it cost South Africans to actually keep the lights on?
At its worst, which was last year, Eskom spent something like 30 billion rands on diesel. And that wiped out the profit that they would have made otherwise. Now that load shedding has been brought under control, the need to run these expensive open cycle gas turbines has significantly reduced. And Eskom say they've saved about 12 billion rand so far this financial year through reduced diesel consumption. Now that's going to help the bottom line because this expenditure, it just kills the bottom line. Whatever you may have made, you lose on this expensive price of diesel. So it's going to help Eskom's financial position, which we'll see in due course.
At the same time, I mean, businesses were struggling when it came to, issues around load shedding. Some were even forced to close their doors. What does this all mean for businesses and small businesses in particular in South Africa?
Well, of course, as you said in your intro, this is going to impact, and Eskom have highlighted this, economic growth in South Africa. And that reflects, a complete range of business activities which, benefit from reduced load shedding. That is on the plus side. And yes, I'm very grateful for that. But the problems are not over. And Eskom is asking for a price increase of 36%. Now, that is going to really hammer many, many businesses. So the good that has been done by reducing load shedding, I fear, could be counteracted if Eskom get their way and put up the price by 36%. That is going to ripple through the economy. It will be a major driver towards increased inflation and will be very damaging to many, many businesses, big, small, and medium. And also the person in the street will be feeling it very harshly in their pocket.
And as Eskom has managed to keep the lights on, at least for now, can we safely say that load shedding is behind us, or is it still too early?
I think it is still too early, and it's not me that is saying that. Eskom has cautioned us themselves. The Minister of Electricity and Energy has cautioned us that he's not yet ready to say that it's over. And he pointed to a few issues that needed to be resolved before we can say that this is over. So, for example, just so that you know, Koeberg Unit 1 has been, Unit number 2 has been out of service, since December last year. It was supposed to come back on in June, July this year. It's only going to come on in December this year, so about 6 months late, if there are no further problems. That is concerning, and that needs to be attended to. And the same
Unfortunately, it seems as if we have lost our analyst there, Chris Yelland, who was actually also wrapping up his comments when it comes to 200 days load shedding free in South Africa.